Hello, everyone, and welcome to Lafayette Jet Baseball here on the internet. Again, 2018, Chris Walker, my sidekick. I'm Sweet Lou Jeff Luzatter, and we're glad you're here with us. First game of 2018 after a 19-5-2 season last year. And yes, Chris Walker's still with me. He's still here because he's got another son. He's got a son at Indiana University representing the Broncos and doing quite well in his freshman year, but he's got another son here. So, Chris, appreciate you getting on board again for 2018.
Well, Sweet Lou, looking forward to it. Yeah, as you said, Justin, his Indiana Hoosiers team currently ranked in every single Division I baseball poll. The highest they're ranked is 11th in the D1 baseball poll. So, having a lot of exposure right now. So it's been a lot of fun for him.
Well, we're just about ready for baseball here, as you can see. We're coming to you from, from Dyersburg High School. And we're ready to go here as Jacob McCoy on the mound. There's a pitch outside, ball one.
Sweet Lou, I tell you what, you've been here, you got here last night with the team. I drove here this morning, and tell you, I don't know how much it rained around here, but man, they've done a tremendous job on this field. I mean, the dirt looks tremendous.
There's a fly ball into short center field. McIntosh makes the play, and that was Kalina Washington. Did I pronounce that right, Chris? Kalani Washington. I'll get used to that. The shortstop for Jeff, and the first out of the 2018 season.
A really nice play there by McIntosh. I thought the ball was going to find a hole in there. It looks like he may have been dodging some puddles or something out there, but, you know, it's a nice play by the center fielder.
Well, we got one out. And Christian Maggio, that's right-handed batter. He swings and misses. Pretty good pitch there from McCoy.
Well, this is Christian's first taste of varsity baseball. Sophomore you're looking at, he's a strong kid, so it's going to be interesting to see how well he performs this year.
Pop up over our head and out of play. Overcast sky here. We had rain coming down yesterday, but you got to take your hat off here to Dyersburg crew. They did an outstanding job. Beautiful facility here, but with the elements, they got to get a pat on the back. This is tremendous.
No kidding.
Again, a swing and a miss. Catcher throws down to first to record the second out. And it's 2 up, 2 down for the Broncos here in the top of the first inning.
Well, that's the pitch there for Christian Maggio and a lot of these young guys that, you know, when you're getting your first dose of varsity baseball and you're seeing those breaking balls, you don't see a lot of those on the JV level or the freshman level, depending on where you're at. So, you know, with us graduating 12 seniors last year and most of those seniors playing a significant role, it's going to be a time for a lot of kids to step up.
Jacob McCoy bends one in there for a called strike to the right fielder, Cole Bridge. Again, a curveball hits the inside corner, and he looks at it again, and he's in a hole 0-2.
And Cole Bridge being our only regular starter returning this year, I believe he's the only regular starter out there right now. Started in right field all last year, had a good sophomore year.
And there is good morning, good afternoon, and good night to Mr. Bridge as he looks at 3 straight strikes. That'll end the inning for the Broncos. And after a half inning here in the first game of the season, Broncos nothing and Sycamore nothing. We'll take a short audio break. You're listening and watching Bronco Baseball here on the web. Sweet Lou back here at Dyersburg as we hit the bottom of the first inning. Broncos go down 1-2-3. Riley Eberhardt, left-hander on the mound for Jeff, and Blaine McIntosh, the center fielder, batting left-handed, takes a called strike.
Well, it's a big move for Riley Eberhardt. He goes from the number 3 starter last year to the number 1 this year, so we'll see what he has.
There's a pitch outside. That'll even the count 1 ball, 1 strike.
And Riley, when he got into trouble last year, normally Riley struggled early in the game. It's always the first inning that seems to get him. But if he can, when he can get through that first inning, he seems to cruise after that. So it's always, you'll know what Riley Eberhardt you're going to have depending on how he gets through this first inning.
Yeah, in the past he did have kind of slow starts where, you mentioned he didn't get enough warm-up pitches, and then he settled down. So here's the wind-up of the pitch, and that's high and away, 2 balls, 1 strike.
And that's what it is. It's the command. I mean, he seems to struggle with his command early. But like I said, if you can get him out through the first inning, he seems to bear down, and he's able to establish that curveball, which is really good. Again,
a pitch outside. Whoop. Yeah, I guess that was ball 4. Thought maybe the umpire had the right hand out there.
He did.
He was pointing to first base.
That's kind of confusing, though, man. You got to point down with your left hand or something.
So Sycamore has a runner on here in the very first inning. Going to bring up Tyler Heckert, the shortstop, batting right-handed. Stretching the pitch. Well, that looked pretty good from here, but umpire said a ball.
So, yeah, Sweet Lou, I'm looking around the diamond, and I was correct. The only starter from last year, actually really the only regular player, the only person that had any varsity time on the field right now is the right fielder and the pitcher.
Well, there's a wild pitch, and that'll send McIntosh into second base.
And this is what we have to figure out with Riley. Like I said, it's always early. I don't know what it is. I don't know if they have to figure something out in his pregame warm-ups in the bullpen. But you got to have a better transition from his bullpen and warming up to coming out on the game mound, because you just don't want to always get behind the 8 ball like this.
Stretching the pitch. There's a bunt, and it's a good one.
Great bunt. He may be safe.
And he is just out at first base, and the sacrifice works for Heckert, and that was a beautiful sacrifice by Tyler Heckert.
Yes, it was. Well, you know what, Sweet Lou? It's the simple things in baseball, being able to get a sacrifice bunt down. My son comes up in the game against Indiana State last night, and runners on first and second, and he's asked to bunt, and he can't get a bunt down. I'm thinking, man, you got to be able to do your job in that situation. And he goes and strikes out, so you don't move the runners up, and it's an unproductive at-bat. You got to be able to be productive like Mr. Heckert was right there. Very good job.
Well, McIntosh on at third base now. 1 ball, no strikes to the first baseman, Kyle Spurlock. Stretching the pitch. There's a foul ball down the right field line. That's out of play.
Unless you're 1-1, I believe, on Spurlock.
Yeah, 1 ball, 1 strike.
Let's see if Spurlock can be productive here. If you're a Sycamore fan, you're just looking for a productive at-bat here, something that you can move the baseball, get that run in. If you're a Lafayette Jeff fan, you want a strikeout here.
Here's Eberhardt. He stretches and pitches. There's a pitch up high for a ball. Count 2 balls, 1 strike.
Umpire's giving up on that curveball a little too soon, Sweet Lou. That was high. He did make the right call there. But you want to stay on that thing because it does have some tremendous break on that curveball. Good pitch.
And there's a swing and a miss.
Good pitch. Fastball on the outside corner there that Spurlock couldn't reach.
Well, this could be a big boost for Eberhardt if he can get out of here and not allow a run. But there is 1 out with a runner on third. Stretching the pitch. And that's another wild pitch.
Yeah. Yep.
And the first run scores. And Sycamore leads by a score of 1-0 here in the bottom of the first.
Sweet Lou, it's something I always talk about here. I'm watching how Kyle Spurlock sets up here. Is it a 2-2 or 3-2 count? I can't really see on the scoreboard there. It's full count, but I'm a firm believer in high school baseball. When you get 2 strikes on you, got to get on top of the plate because high school pitchers don't have a good enough command to come inside on you. enough. So everything's
Ground
outside.
ball deep in the hole. It's
nice
short.
play, Kalani.
Washington. Wow.
What do you call that, Sweet Lou?
Well, I don't know. I think he had him.
He would have had him. He would have had him. It's a tough play. It probably is an E6. Because Kalani does have a strong arm. He just threw a long hop over there, and his first baseman Nick Collier couldn't pick it for him. So, I gotta be careful.
Yeah, I'm gonna give him an air, and they can holler at me. So, runner on first, 1 out. Jacob McCoy, pitcher.
I think he know me well enough to where last year I would have said that's an error on the shortstop right away, with that being my son. So.
Yeah. So we got 1 out, 1 ball, no strikes. Spurlock on at first base for Sycamore here in the bottom of the first. They're leading 1-0. There's a pretty good pitch right at the knee, swung on and missed by Jacob McCoy. Riley gets his sign, stretches and pitches, a swing and a miss, strike 2.
So that's a pitch right there. So now with a 1-2 count on him, and where Jacob McCoy is set up, if Riley can paint the outside corner, and the other thing, you need to get your catcher Kyle wide, slide out, because again, in high school, see, that's what I want. Umpires will give you the ball in the left-hander's batter's box. Like that would have been called a strike.
There's a pop-up into right field. Bridge, he's got it for the out, and that'll be out number 2.
Nice job there by Eberhard. Good job by Cole Bridge staying with that fly ball. I think it is pretty wet out in the outfield, and he kind of slipped, lost his balance, but regained himself and made the play. So 2 outs now, running on first base for Riley Eberhard. Let's see if he can get out of this thing.
Here's Peyton Biggs, the left fielder, batting right-handed. Spurlock still on at first. 2 outs here in the bottom of the first.
Good pitch.
And there's a called strike right at the knees, and that's probably Eberhard's best pitch right there.
I agree. If he can establish that fastball and then be able to use that curveball off of it, then he can be really effective, as we've seen before. There it is.
A nice curveball in there, and he gets ahead on the count, and he hasn't done that all the batters he's faced.
Mm-hmm. We have some folks listening to us. Clay Jones' mom, Steph Jones, is listening to us. Sweet Lou, I just received a text.
There's a
Great
called
pitch.
third strike, and Eberhard finally may have his stuff going here, but Sycamore comes up with 1 run, and after 1 full inning, it's Sycamore 1, Lafayette Jeff 0. We'll take a short break. Watching Bronco baseball here on the web. Sweet Lou, Jeff Luzader back here at Dyersburg High School as we head to the top of the second inning. Sycamore, Tennessee leading the Jeff Broncos by a score of 1-0, and it's pitcher versus pitcher here. Jacob McCoy. It was a ball to his counterpart, Riley Eberhard. And Chris, you look at this this Jeff lineup. There's a ball down low with all those. Let's see, we had 13 or 12, 13 seniors.
Yeah, 12 or 13.
So
seniors.
we couldn't get even all of them on the field last year.
That's
so
right.
it's going to be a trial and error here early.
Yeah.
Of course, we got the doubleheader tomorrow and then Saturday, but then we start conference play then Monday against the Logan Sport Berries. So called strike on the inside.
You know, it's good for these young guys. It gives them an opportunity to get out there and be able to get their feet wet before they start conference play.
It's down there. There's a called strike. There's ball 4. Down. Eberhard goes to first. Anyway, we got Riley Eberhard on with a leadoff walk, and it looks like we got a pinch runner down there, Chris.
Yeah, get your courtesy runner. Let's see.
Courtesy
if
runner,
I can tell who that is by the body language. Oh, we got some speed. We got Caleb Copen out there. The young freshman getting his feet wet here. Ooh.
So that's number 10. Which Copeland is that?
That's
we got
Caleb.
Caleb, so that's the K one. Okay. I know we got
Matthew, his brother, looks
okay.
like he's on deck.
Okay, so Copeland's on at first base, pinch running. Throw to first, runner back as T.J. Preston is the batter. Pretty good lead over there at first base.
Well, he can run, so if he gets a read, he's going to be going.
Here's a stretch of the pitch. There's a swing and a miss by TJ.
TJ, now he's got to find a way to cut down on his swing, put the ball in play, be productive. Shoot one in the gap somewhere. Let's see Caleb run a little bit.
Stretching the pitch. And that's on the outside corner for called strike 3. TJ gets called looking.
And that's that pitch I talk about, Sweet Luke, because, you know, in actuality, that ball's a good 6 inches off the plate, but in high school baseball, it gets called all the time. So if you're a hitter with 2 strikes on you in high school, you have to get up all the way on the inside corner, on the inside part of that batter's box and take that pitch away. High school pitchers, they won't come in because they don't want to hit you. If they hit you and it's an 0-2 count, it just messes with their mind.
Pitch on the outside corner to Matthew Copeland, the second baseman. So we got brother on first base, and the other, his brother, up to bat here, batting right-handed. 1 out. We're in the top of the second inning. Sycamore leading by a score of 1-0. There's a ground ball up the middle. Second baseman. They get one, and they can't get the other. But
nice job.
Nice play out there by Heckert, shortstop.
I don't think they're going to be able to get that. It's 2 outs. So that erases Caleb Copen, and his brother Matthew Copen is on first base. Funny thing about the Copens, their dad Ted was just up here in the press box trying to get the address for our broadcast. But a little story: Ted Copen was one of my strength and conditioning coaches my first year at Purdue, and his wife Tanya was a softball player when I was a baseball player at Purdue. So a lot of history there.
So we got a steal, and into second base goes
Caleb. Yep.
Caleb Copeland.
I'm sorry. That's Matthew. That's Matthew.
Matthew?
Yeah,
Okay.
Caleb was erased on the fielder's choice.
That's right.
Matthew just with the stolen base there. And that's funny because Caleb is the one with all the speed.
Well, the Broncos got a runner in scoring position here. There's 2 outs.
Brings up super strong Kyle Wyatt.
Wyatt batting right-handed. Base hit here to tie the game. Coy, there's a wild pitch. And down to third base goes Copeland.
again, this is Kyle's really first action on varsity level, but man, he is so strong doing all the weightlifting for that up-and-coming Lafayette Jefferson football program. If he can ever get a hold of one, if you can get him consistently squaring the ball up, he could do some major damage.
Pitch outside for a ball from McCoy is Wyatt. Get a base hit, get a runner here. McCoy now going from the windup. 2 outs here in the top of the second inning. There's a ground ball to the shortstop. Heckert bobbles it, and that'll be an error, but that'll help Lafayette Jefferson if they tie the game.
Yep. Go down as an E6, but it works. It gets a run in. You know, Sweet Lou, it's one of those things right there. You know, the new trend in baseball, the offensive philosophy is all about launch angle and exit velocity. Exit velocity makes a ton of sense, but launch angle to me it's one of those things where when you're trying to teach high school kids, like you look at our high school team as young as we are, when you're trying to teach launch angles to a bunch of kids that are 5'10", 150 pounds, especially at the field we play on, that's going to lead to a lot of flyouts to the infield or to the shallow outfield. So my thing is, obviously, exit velocity is great, but that's going to come with strength. And once you get really good, when you get to the college level and beyond, then you can start working some of the launch angle stuff, and that's when I think it comes into play. But, you know, and heck, in our area, some of the high school fields are so bad that you're better off hitting a lot of hard ground balls because they're so hard to field. No one wants to get in front of a ground ball.
Yeah, you're exactly right. Nick Collier, first baseman for Jeff. Again, Wyatt on at first base. He reached on an error. There's a pitch outside for a ball. 2 balls, 1 strike. Broncos with an unearned run here in the top of the second inning. Tied this game up 1-1. And we got a stoppage play here. McCoy needs to tie his shoestring.
Big John Ripke said he liked how we're sounding, Sweet Lou. Glad he's back in Lafayette listening to us.
Well, how about the major leagues? How about that Cubs today? Very first pitch of the season.
Hat, baby.
Is parked.
I'll tell you what, it's impressive. I was listening to it on the way here. Thank goodness for my satellite radio.
Absolutely. There's a swing and a miss. It's going to even the count. 2 balls, 2 strikes now on
Nick Collier.
Nick Collier, number 8 batter in the batting order for Lafayette, Jeff.
I'll tell you what, Nick's got really good size, and he can really play. It's a matter of him making sure he keeps his head and keeping his mind right. But
there's called strike 3 at the knees. But the Broncos do tie the game. It's an unearned run, but it's still a run.
That's right.
As we head to the bottom of the second inning, it's Sycamore, or Lafayette Jeff 1 and Sycamore 1. We'll be right back. You're watching Bronco baseball here on the web. Sweet Lou, Jeff Luzader back here at Dyersburg, Tennessee, our first game of the 2018 campaign. As we head into the bottom of the second inning, Broncos lost the coin toss and became the visitors here at Dyersburg High School. We appreciate Dyersburg's hospitality here. We got a nice spot here in the press box as we head into the bottom of the second inning. Riley Eberhardt ready to face 6, 7, and 8 hitters for Sycamore.
You know, Sweet Lou, it's funny when people, you do the coin toss before the game, and everyone wants to be the home team. And, man, I tell you, when I used to coach and when I used to play, I never wanted to be the home team. I wasn't a pitcher. I was a position player, so I was an outfielder. And so my thought process was, if we're the visitors, we're getting all of our at-bats, right? When you're the home team, there's no worse feeling than when you're that guy and you're getting ready to come up and that your teammate makes that last out in the bottom of the 6th and you're playing 7 innings and you don't get your bat back because you're the home team. So my thing is, why not be visitors, jump on the other team early, and then you get all your at-bats, right?
I am right with you there. I am right with you. I agree 100%. Eberhard up high. We're going to count 3-1 now. And Wyatt's going out and have a word with his battery mate.
Yeah, got to get Riley back on track. Have him filling up the strike zone. Can't give free passes.
Well, I was a little disappointed my Cincinnati Reds didn't play today. Usually they have the tradition of opening the season, but history was almost made as every major league team was going to start today. But
oh, wow, I didn't realize that.
Yeah, every major league team. There's ball 4.
Wow.
Michael loosely heads down to first base with a leadoff walk here in the bottom of the 2nd inning.
So is that the Reds and Nationals then, Sweet Lou?
Yeah, they moved it to tomorrow, and tomorrow was going to be an off day for both those teams anyway. So,
well, I feel so bad for you, but it really doesn't matter because the only team that matters played and won today in the Cubs, so that's all that matters.
Noah Jolly, the catcher, takes a ball inside from Eberhard. Overcast sky here. They had the sun out when we arrived. It was a little bit of showers, but it's there's a pitch just outside. That looked pretty good from here, but plate umpire said it was outside for ball 2. 2 balls, no strikes.
Tell you what, man, the Sycamore team has some good-sized kids. They're eating a little different food than we're eating back in Lafayette, man.
Short lead at first base. Now Eberhard stretches pitches. Pitch down low again. 3 balls, no strikes. Well, Chris, I think the coach said it 4 or 5 times. Said it on the bus that this is not the starting lineup. Everybody's going to get time to play. Everything will really start on Monday. There's a called strike.
Well, let me tell you this. I know Coach McTaggart pretty well, and that's coach speak. Because I'm looking around the field, looking around the diamond right now, and I can tell you that is about 90% of your start. I can think of 2 positions. I'm not going to say those right now, but
right.
I think 2 positions that I see right now that probably will have some different players out there. But this lineup here will be my guess would be. This would be the lineup you see the majority of the time. I could be wrong, but I think this would be the majority of your lineup the majority of the games.
There's a fly ball down the right field line. That's over in the Reds, not the Reds bullpen, the Bronco bullpen, but
yeah, Big John Ripke.
I've got the Reds on my mind, Chris. So.
Big John, I know you're listening out there. Don't tell Coach McTaggart I said that because I don't want to hear from him. All right.
Again, a short lead at first. There goes the runner. Ball hits him as Jolly gets hit, and he heads down to first base.
So, Sweet Lou, that goes back to my point there. I think it was a full count there, right? So Riley Eberhard tries to go in. He goes fastball in, and what happens? You have an HBP. So now you have runners on first and second, no outs. And now let's watch Riley Eberhard's body language from here on out. Because normally in those situations, a high school pitcher will just melt down. So that's why I say as a hitter, get on top of the plate, take that inside corner away because pitchers just won't come in there. And then you can take away that outside strike that's called 6 inches off the plate.
Runners on first and second. There's a bunt
attempt.
Again, a great bunt.
And
a nice play by the first baseman, Collier, as he gets Lucy at first base on the fielder's choice. We got a courtesy runner, Lewis, now on at second base.
Yeah, so, and I said, when the bunt was laid down, I said great bunt. And it actually, it was a decent bunt because in that situation, runners on first and second, you want to typically get that bunt down the third baseline. He bunted it right down the first baseline. The first baseman was charging. He had an easy play to field and throw to third base for the force out. So now you have one out, runner still on first and second.
So we got Lewis on at second, Edmondson on at first base, one out. Score tied here, 1-1. And Dawson Yos. He swings and misses.
Sweet Lou, I can tell this is our first broadcast, man, because I'm all over the place. My scorecard's a mess. I'm a mess. I don't know what's going on up here.
O'Reilly gets his sign. He stretches and pitches. And it's called strike 3 and
you see that?
2 outs.
And again, folks, I promise you, I'm sorry that I keep repeating myself, but that ball was maybe 6 to 8 inches in the left-handed batter's box, and it's called for strike 3. So as a hitter, you feel absolutely helpless. You go back to the dugout and you're complaining to your coach, and your coach is like, I don't want to hear it. But in actuality, the hitter's right. That is not a strike. You can't reach that. But you'll give yourself a better chance if you get on top of the plate.
And there's a pitch called strike. I think that was. A called. Was that a swing? Anyway, the runners moved up. That hit the catcher's glove. I'm going to have to give White a pass ball on that. So it's 1 ball, 1 strike on the leadoff batter, Blaine McIntosh.
Yeah, Blaine McIntosh got some good size on him, man.
He sure does.
It's a great baseball frame right there. I'm telling you. Is that the center fielder? Is he the center fielder?
Yes, he is.
Holy moly, that is what college is like right there, man. I'm telling you. I don't know if he can swing it or if he can play or not, but man, that's a great center field body right there. You know he's still going to fill out.
Pitch outside. Count 2 balls, 2 strikes.
Yeah, it looked a little different than my center field frame. I was playing at 5'9", 160 pounds, and this kid is all legs, man. Long legs, I tell you.
Wind up in the pitch on the outside corner for called strike 3.
Wow. Just unhittable. It's unhittable, man.
Well, that'll end the inning. And the Broncos hold, and after 2 complete innings here, it's Sycamore 1 and the Lafayette Jefferson Broncos 1. I'm Sweet Lou Jeff Luzada. You're watching Bronco Baseball here on the web. We'll take a short audio break. Sweet Lou, Jeff Luzada back here at Dyersburg High School in Tennessee. Lafayette Jefferson Broncos taking on Sycamore, Tennessee. We're heading to the top of the third inning. The score is tied 1-1, and Sycamore's got a new pitcher, a left-hander, J.J. Ivy.
And I'm sure the person leading off for Lafayette, Jeff, Marquise Munoz, loves that, being a lefty, facing a lefty here. But this is going to be fun to see. Marquise Munoz, as the folks know that are listening, is a star running back for Lafayette Jeff Broncos, and football is his main focus. The kid is a heck of an athlete. So, he's got a lot of raw talent, but he's never really focused on baseball. So if someone, I've been all over him, getting him to commit to me that he will not give up baseball for football. So I just want to see him play and see what he can do this year.
Well, I sat by him on the way down here, and boy, it was very impressive. It was yes, sir, no, sir. Mm-hmm. He's only a sophomore. He's well mature and anxious to use the stick. I know that. Here's the first pitch to him. That's outside for a ball.
That's the thing with Marquise. Like I said, he is so strong. If you can get him to run into a few baseballs, and I just want to see him hit him in the gap so he can run a little bit. He's just, like I said, so fast, so athletic.
Here's a pitch from Ivy, and again, up that hits the outside corner for a called strike. Evens the count, 1 ball, 1 strike.
I can tell you right now, Sweet Lou, after the game, I'm going to ask Coach McTaggart if I can talk to the team really quickly. A lot of stuff we talked about hitting in the preseason, but we have to make an adjustment because where Marquise is standing, he is not going to touch anything that's even on the outer third of the plate, let alone the outside part of the plate.
2 balls, 1 strike to Munoz. Lefty versus lefty here in the top of the third. There's a swing and a miss in on his hands.
That's the one you got to get there. So now you fight. Now you're 2-2. Like to see him slide up. Stays in the same spot. Let's see if he can fight, put it in play. Be productive here, Marquise.
Ivy with the pitch. Fly ball, pretty well hit into right center field. But the center fielder drifting over is McIntosh. And I was glad there wasn't collision there, Chris. That looked like it could have been. If McIntosh called off Luke and got the out for out number 1 here in the top of the third. That ball was pretty well hit, although it looked like the wind may have knocked it down. You can see the flag out in center field is blowing right straight at us.
A couple things in that play. Marquise kind of lunged on and may have gotten off the end of the bat, but he still hit it pretty well. But the other thing is what we talked about last inning, man, Blaine McIntosh just was kind of gliding. He looked like a gazelle out there running for that baseball. He reminds me of a guy I played with who actually is the head baseball coach at Kent State in Ohio right now, Jeff Duncan. And Jeff played in the major leagues for a few years, and he looks just like Jeff did at this age. I mean, a natural lefty, long and lean, can run, cover a lot of ground. That's an impressive frame on McIntosh out there in center field.
There's a ball down low to Washington, the shortstop for Jeff.
Good, glad to see Kalani getting a chance at shortstop now with my son Justin gone. I think Kalani, another kid who's a heck of an athlete, strong kid, should have a good year this year.
Wind up in a pitch. There's a ground ball foul. Kalani Washington flied out to McIntosh, his first time up the center fielder.
Yeah, early in the season last year at home, Kalani, in one of the JV games, hit a ball out of Loeb Stadium, and you don't see a lot of balls hit out of Loeb, especially where he hit it. So he does have some pop.
Pitch outside. Well, taking a look at Ivy, Chris, is he stretching or is that a windup or a little bit of both?
Let's see. Let me watch the action this time.
Because see, he comes set, sort of, but then, I mean, there's nothing wrong with it. He's not balking, but it's just, there's a pop-up in the infield. Hecker backing up.
Oh, wow.
Hasn't played. Boy, you can tell the wind got a hold of that one.
Sure did. No, but to answer your question, Sweet Lou, it's a modified windup that Ivy's working out of because he does start out like he's going to go from the stretch, but then he kind of goes through this kind of abbreviated windup. So it's just different. It's one of those things. I mean, all these pitchers are always trying to try something new to throw off a hitter's timing. You know how these pitchers think. They're trying to get some advantage.
Christian Maggio up to bat. He's struck out, but he first pitched swinging, and there's a pop-up into short center field. Second baseman, Yos, Makes it short right field to end the inning. Broncos making contact are just hitting them where they are instead of where they ain't. So they go in order here in the top of the third. The score remains 1-1. We'll take a short break. You're watching Bronco baseball here on the web. Sweet Lou, Jeff Luzader back here. As we head to the bottom of the third inning, we got a tie score between Sycamore and the Lafayette Jeff Broncos.
Did we ever find out the mascot for Sycamore, Sweet Lou, or War Eagle? Oh,
War Eagle?
So they're
Okay.
Auburn. Yes,
Okay.
Roll Tide. No, I'm this one. Sorry, all you Sycamore fans out there. I'm not an Alabama fan. Trust me.
2, 3, and 4 hitters here for the War Eagles of Sycamore. Hecker, the shortstop, takes ball one from Riley Eberhardt. He winds and delivers. There's a nice pitch at the knees and inside. Just got the corner.
Nice pitch and a nice swing there by Eckert. Just missed it. Just swung right through it.
Riley ahead, 0-2 now. The pitch off his hands, jammed him. Tyler Haggard protected himself there. Ball in on his hands. Count remains 0-2. Spurlock, the first baseman. There's a ball high. Counts 2 balls and 2 strikes. Spurlock, the first baseman, in the on-deck circle for the War Eagles. Pitch down low. Count full now, 3-2 to the leadoff batter here in the bottom of the third inning. Score tied 1-1.
Does your program have a pitch count there on Riley?
I should be doing it, but there's a nice pitch. Swing and a miss, and Everhart gets a strikeout.
It's good you're getting the strikeouts, but man, it's a lot of high pitch at bats, and that adds to your pitch count. So you want to really keep that down because. You know, I haven't even checked this year, Sweet Lou. I know we still have that pitch count rule.
Yep.
Right? And
sure do.
I don't know if they made any modifications or anything to it, but I'll have to check that out.
Nice curveball there from Eberhardt.
Great pitch.
No, as far as I know, everything's still the same. And the meeting we had last night talked about throwing strikes. Pitch inside evens the count 1-1 to Kyle Spurlock, the first baseman for the War Eagles of Sycamore. Riley winds and delivers. Pitch high and away. Again, overcast sky. It's a lot warmer than that was when we left Indiana, that's for sure. There's a ground ball to Washington. Over to first base, Collier, and one up, one down here in the bottom of the third.
No, that's that's a second out there, Sweet Lou.
Or 2 outs, yeah.
Tyler
right.
Eckert struck out
to
start the inning. And
well, it's my first game of the season,
we're good. So. We're a team here, sir. We're a team.
So 2 up, 2 down. That'll bring the pitcher. Well, not the pitcher now, but it was the pitcher. It's J.J. Ivey. Batting right-handed.
Wait, is this Ivy or McCoy?
That might be.
Yeah, this is still McCoy's hitting.
Or is he?
Yeah, so this is 23 still hitting. So we got to find out where Ivy is. You always wonder, man. Your number 4 hitter starts with your pitcher. You have to take your pitcher out. You don't want to lose your 4 hitter. That's for sure.
Okay, so this is still who?
This is, I'm not sure the first names. We didn't get the first names, but it's McCoy.
McCoy? Mm-hmm. Okay.
Oh, it's Jacob. Wasn't it Jacob, I think?
Yeah.
I should know that since I have a son named Jacob. That would help.
There's a pop-up in the infield. Copeland down the first baseman.
Whoa.
Collier makes the play for the out.
That was a circus there by Nick Collier, but he did make the play.
So Collier records the third out, and we head to the 4th inning. The game's tied. Lafayette Jeff 1, Sycamore 1. We'll take a short break. You're watching Bronco Baseball. Sweet Lou Jeff Luzader back here at Dyersburg High School. We're in the top of the 4th inning.
Nice swing, Cole Bridge.
And there's a line drive as Bridge.
It's going to be that's an E.
That's going to be
E9.
an
A really good swing there by Cole Bridge, but that is an E9. I didn't get a chance because after Cole's first at bat, but I want to talk about it. Cole moves from the 6th spot to the 3 spot in the order. In his first at bat, he took 3 breaking balls for strikes and struck out without swinging the bat. That's something he's going to have to understand. Hitting now in that 3 hole, he's going to have a little different respect given to him in these at bats. So he's going to have to jump on fastballs early in the count like he did just there.
So you say that was an error?
Oh yes.
Okay. So we got Bridge on first base.
Mm-hmm. It's one of those things as a hitter, Sweet Lou, where you hate to get an E for that, but it's definitely an error. But that's a really good swing by your 3 hitter.
And we got Eberhardt up to bat here. Score tied 1-1. We're in the top of the 4th inning here. Two balls, no strikes. 1-1 count here. You got Bridge taking off here, Chris. He's got a pretty good lead at first.
He does have a good lead. Oh.
Nope.
Time
was called.
No, called a balk.
Yeah, he did call a balk. I don't think he was stopping.
Yeah.
So Bridges moves into second base on the first base umpire. Called a balk.
Yeah, he's given the signal that as if he did not come set or pause, I should say, when he came to the set position.
So that puts Cole Bridge in second base. Nobody out here in the top of the 4th inning. Score tied 1-1. So base hit by Eberhardt. He could help himself here. Big hole on the right-hand side. If he can pull it, there's a fly ball down the right field line. Lucy giving chase. That ball's going to be out of play and in the Lafayette Jet bullpen.
You know what? I really like that swing by Eberhardt there. That's a team swing. And what I mean by that, Sweet Lou, is that's a situation where Riley Eberhardt is your four-hitter. He's not your prototypical four-hitter, but he takes a swing there early in the count where he's trying to hit the ball to right field to advance that runner. So let's see if he can be productive and get that runner to third base.
There's a ground ball foul over near the Sycamore dugout.
So for all the young pitchers out there, if you're paying attention, here's a situation. You have a runner on second base. The count is 1-2 with a right-handed hitter up. What you're trying to do, I'm either going hard fastball in, or I'm throwing something on the inside part of the plate because I'm trying to get a ground ball to the left side of the field or a strikeout.
Curveball hits the outside corner for a called strike. And again, the Broncos looking at called third strikes.
And to be honest, that pitch there by, is that Ivy, I believe?
Yep, yeah,
J.J. Ivy. Now, he did get the strikeout, so the result was good, right? Because they got an out. However, that pitch was not what you wanted. He threw a hanging curveball that was hanging on the outside part of the plate. Now, I mean, there's going to be four hitters that we face this year that hit that ball in the right center field gap, and they hit it really hard. I mean, that he faces are going to hit that ball in the right center field gap. And so he actually did the Broncos a favor there, but he just froze Riley Eberhardt.
Brings up T.J. Preston, the third baseman, batting left-handed, lefty against lefty here. There's a fake back to second base, Bridge back safely.
It's not a bad idea to try to see if that dirt's a little loose. If you can get Cole Bridge slipping out there, you may be able to get a free out.
Stretch and the pitch. There's a check swing, and the umpire said he went around too far.
Yes, he did.
So, strike on T.J. Preston.
TJ's a little amped up right now. He's kind of anxious. He's kind of happy feet in there. He just needs to sit back and trust his hands.
TJ struck out looking his first time up. Stretch and the pitch. Curveball in there.
I think the umpire, like he's shaking his head. It's early for him as well. He just rung him up on strike two. You got to love it. You got to love it.
So Preston now in a hole.
I like TJ. TJ's been listening. He did get much more on top of the plate with two strikes here.
Yep.
He's going to take that away. Yep.
That's inside.
And see, so what that does there is maybe in a normal situation, if he's where he's normally standing, that ump may give him that call. But now he backs back a little bit and makes it appear that it's a ball. And so now if he comes in again, you just trust your instincts and you turn on it, you hit it hard.
2 balls, 2 strikes, I think. Runner on second. There's a ground ball or a line drive right back to Ivy. Preston hit that right off the hands.
So we call some jam sandwich right there, Sweet Lou. That's the one where you're picking up some new lumber if it's a wood bat, my man. Jam
Bridge
sandwich.
still on at second base. There's 2 outs here in the top of the 4th inning. Brings up Matthew Copeland. Reached on a fielder's choice by the second baseman. There's a pitch down low for a ball.
And Copeland is another really strong kid. I mean, doing a lot of weightlifting right now. His lower body, man, he is really strong. So we can get Matthew to really get those arms extended on a consistent basis where he's squaring the ball up. He can do some major damage.
Well, the coach talked about that on the way down, about a lot of the off-season workouts that the Broncos went through this year. Pitch outside for a ball and how much stronger the players are. Of course, 10 years ago, you never dreamed of coming in December and January and running sprints or lifting weights for baseball players. You just never heard of it, and now it's commonplace.
That's right. Well, heck, I'm upset with Coach McTaggart because I wish they would have done it last year. Because my son now at IU, his nickname is Stickbug. They call him Stickbug because they say he looks like a praying mantis because he's long and lean, man. He's got no muscle on him.
Stretching the pitch.
Good
It's
pitch.
on the inside corner.
Good pitch.
One thing the Broncos doing are taking a lot of pitches here. They need to be a lot more aggressive.
Yep. Well, Matthew is all over the plate. And let's see, now the key for Matthew is to be able to get those arms extended. got to be quick if he does come in.
Here's the pitch, and that's a wild one. And headed down to third base is Cole Bridge. So Ivy lets go a wild one. Past Jolly, his catcher.
We have one of our anxious fans sitting in the press box. She's really wanting to get on the mic, I can tell.
Well, let's see what Ivy does here. See how he's going to do sort of his stretch windup. Foul ball right back to us.
You know what's funny about this? That'd be kind of tough as the umpire. Because what if you inadvertently call a ball because you think he's going from the stretch, but then you see he's going from the windup? I mean, you got to be careful out there.
Just looking at that,
I know,
it's
tough.
He's got a little bit of both there.
Yeah, I mean that is really tough.
There's no deception there. He's
right.
consistent. There's no deception, but
that's right. Oh,
there's
good
a line
swing.
down the right
Sit
field
ball.
line.
Sit.
That ball is
that's
fair.
A fair ball.
Just fair. And headed into second base is Copeland, and nice hit as he goes the other way with that pitch on the outside corner. The Broncos take the lead.
Oh my! You know what, Sweet Lou? We got to cancel a post-game show. That's the first hit.
Yeah.
I didn't realize that.
There goes the no-hitter.
That's right. Wow. I did not realize that. Oh, man.
So Brent scores. Run. The Broncos take a lead here, 2-1, the top of the fourth inning.
Really, really good job there by Matthew Copen, taking the ball on the outside part of the plate, not trying to do too much, and he's so strong, he hits that ball way down the right field corner, just fair. Great at bat there by Matthew Copen.
Pitch up high for a ball to Kyle White.
And the other thing
catcher.
we need to mention that this is Matthew Copen's first year, even though he's a junior, his first year at Jeff, because he transferred over from Harrison.
Wow.
So yeah, we just benefited from that.
Good lead out at second by Copeland. There's a fly ball in the short right center field. That's going to be caught by the right fielder. Lucide makes the catch to end the inning, but the Broncos do come up with a run, and they take the lead here. And we're in the middle of the fourth inning. The score, Lafayette Jeff 2 and Sycamore 1 as we hit in the bottom of the fourth. You're watching Bronco baseball here on the web. Sweet Lou, Jeff Luzatter back here at Dyersburg High School. Nice facility here in Western Tennessee as we head to the bottom of the fourth inning. Broncos leading by a score of 2-1. Riley Eberhardt pitches to, I've got Peyton Biggs.
I'm with you.
Left fielder. He swings and misses. Wind up in the pitch. Again, a swing and a miss.
It's good to see
Riley ahead,
yep.
0-2.
It's great to see him jump ahead 0-2. Now let's not take this 0-2 to So 3-2. Let's finish this guy in the next pitch or two.
See what Everhard does here, 0-2. He
Great
comes
pitch.
right after him and gets a strikeout.
Great job by Everhard there. That's a great start to the inning. I'll tell you what,
Bring up another right-hander, the right fielder, Michael Loosely, I think I'm pronouncing that correctly.
that temperature's had to have dropped 15 degrees out there, Sweet.
Oh, yeah, that wind.
Yeah.
And you can see even the two flags out in center field.
I wonder what's going on over at the football field.
Well, they had a
Oh, soccer in the.
see, we play them both in the fall, Indiana.
Yeah, so folks that are listening, I'm talking to some folks working here in the press box. I mean, you can see the football field's lit up over there. There's a lot of activity. Well, they play spring. The boys play soccer in the spring here, where obviously where we're from in Lafayette, Indiana. Both the girls and boys play their soccer in the fall.
2 balls, no strikes to the right fielder.
Good pitch.
Good pitch by Everhart. Riley, like I said, we're in the bottom of the 4th inning. Riley with 6 strikeouts, and he's walked 2 batters. There's a swing and a miss, and he's in the groove right now.
Yes,
Chris.
he
He's
is.
keeping the ball down low,
Yes, he is.
and he's throwing hard. There's a windup in the pitch. That's down low, ball 4. That'll be the 3rd walk given up by Riley Everhart. So Loosely head down to first base with a leadoff walk here in the 4th inning. Broncos and Lafayette Jeff leading here by a score 2-1. Brings up the catcher, Noah Jolly, the number 7 batter in the Sycamore starting lineup. There's a line drive right to the second baseman. Copeland, he throws to first base and throws back past Collier, and that's going to be probably an error to the second baseman. He tried to pick off Loosely at first base.
It's going to be an L4, line out to the second baseman for the second out of the inning, but then it's going to be an E4 as well. It advances the runner from first to second base there. Matthew did everything right. He just tried to muscle up and kind of rush the throw a little bit. He pulled it, so he threw it toward the dugout area.
I think we got a little sprinkles going on out there. We're getting it on the window here in the press box.
Mm-hmm.
Here's the third baseman. I think this is this is Ivy batting.
So
Number
he's
17.
So it looks like they took Edmondson out then.
Yeah, it's a foul ball. I don't know who's at third base for them, but
I wonder if that's probably where Jacob McCoy, the starting pitcher, went. We'll have to check that out. Good pitch.
swing and a miss. Lefty versus lefty here. Loosely on its second base, tying run for the Sycamores here in the bottom of the 4th inning. Lafayette Jeff leading 2-1.
Let's see if Coach Igo goes to school here. After that last swing by Ivy, I would go right back to this curveball. Start it right down the middle of the plate. Like that.
There's a swing and a miss.
Yep.
And another strikeout, and that'll end the inning. So the Broncos get out of the 4th inning here. No harm on that error. And after 4 complete, Lafayette Jeff leading by a score of 2-1. I'm Sweet Lou, Jeff Luzader. We'll take a short audio break. You're watching Bronco Baseball. Sweet Lou Jeff Luzander back here. Lafayette Jeff baseball here in Tennessee.
And Sweet Lou, we got to give the guys in the press box some credit. As the rain started to fall, they got the Milli Vanilli blaming on the rain playing.
Yeah, nice.
They know their stuff up here, man. Tell you.
Pitch on the inside corner to the first baseman, Nick Collier.
I'd like to see you tack on a couple insurance runs here, Sweet Lou.
Sounds like a plan to me. So we have some light rain falling. The wind's still blowing right toward us here in the press box. Wind up and the pitch. There's a foul ball off to the right and out of play.
Tell you what, I hope
the umbrellas are out here.
Hope this rain stops, man. I'm gonna melt trying to get back to my car. I don't want to get in this mess.
Ivy winds and delivers. Curveball outside. Count 2-2.
I just got a message, Sweet Lou. I haven't checked my phone in a while, and my wife and daughter are mad that I have not mentioned them, and they want me to give them a shout out. So
there's called strike 3.
Hi, girls.
Go ahead there, Chris. Say hello.
Hi, girls.
Hopefully your son's listening down in Bloomington.
Yeah,
he's got the whole Indiana University team listening to him.
I'm sure he's got something else going on. Sweet Lou. They got bigger and better things to do, I'm sure, right now.
So 1 up, 1 down here in the top of the 5th for the Broncos. Marquise Munoz, first pitch swinging, and hits a foul down the left field line. That's out of play.
And folks, for all those listening, I did mean he needs to be having a study group right now with his teammates. So they're doing homework. That's what they're doing. So Justin Jr., if you're listening, get your homework done.
Attaboy. Making us proud down at Indiana University. There's a called strike. 0-2 now to Munoz. Lefty versus lefty here in the 5th inning. Ivy pitches. There's a pitch on the inside corner, and that's called strike 3.
It's a great pitch. I think that's just another situation where young Marquise Munoz hasn't played a lot of games at this level. Get a good breaking ball that kind of starts off right at his front hip, and that breaks right over the plate for strike 3.
That's strikeout number 3 for Ivy, and 7 strikeouts now, recorded by Sycamore pitching.
It is a good call. Gentleman in the press box mentioned that, you got that as if you're a hitter, that rain and wind is blowing right in at your face, so that makes it really tough as a hitter.
Ball 1 to the leadoff batter for Jeff Washington. Pitch on the inside, ball 2. 2 balls, no strikes.
Here's a pitch here where Kalani's got to try to get a fastball that he can drive into a gap right now. Got to try to get him to second base.
Washington popped up to the shortstop his last time up. He popped it up. And that's off to the right behind the Jeff dugout and out of play. So the rain's coming down again here.
That's a swing there where you get 2-0 count, you get a little bit too anxious, and you kind of jump and your barrel gets a little bit loose, and that's why you hit that fly ball to the right side there.
2 balls a strike. Pitch up high. Count now 3-1. 2 are out, but wouldn't mind having a base runner here in the top of the 5th inning. Broncos leading 2-1.
So we're looking at the radar here. It's not even showing any rain at Dyersburg right now. That's crazy.
So that's ball 4. The Broncos have a 2-out walk in Washington, and that'll bring up Christian Maggio.
Well, let's see what Coach McTaggart does here. This is a great situation that I would try to steal Kalani really early in the count here.
Pitch outside for a ball.
Worst case scenario, you'll have 2, 3, 4 leading off the next inning. I think you got to try to get Kalani. I should say you have to try to get Kalani in the scoring position with Maggio up and take your chances. Let Christian try to drive him in here. does not hurt you to try to steal, even if you get thrown out. He wanted to.
Line drive right to the first baseman, Spurlock, and that's the third out. And Christian hit that right on the numbers, Chris, but he hit it right at the first baseman. And that'll end the fifth inning. So the Broncos leave a runner, and after 5.5, it's Broncos 2 and Sycamore 1. We'll take a short break. You're watching Bronco baseball here on the web. We lose Jeff Luzatter back here in Dyersburg, Tennessee. And a small miss coming down. Broncos here, bottom of the fifth inning, leading by a score of 2-1. There's a bunt attempt by the number 9 batter in the batting order, Dawson Yos.
And Sweet Lou, I want to talk about that last play there, that the line drive, the line out by Christian Maggio to the first baseman. And that's a situation where, and it looked like Coach McTaggart may have given the leadoff man, Kalani Washington, the steal sign, and Kalani didn't get a good jump. But here's the situation. If you think of it this way, if Kalani does steal on the pitch before, or if he's already at second base, now that first baseman is playing in normal depth, that's a base hit. That's a double down the line, right? And so that's why in that situation, you want to try to get to second base as early as possible. That opens up more holes for your hitters there. And like I said, Maggio smoked that ball, but it was right to the first baseman who was holding the runner on first base.
Dawson Yos, there's a line drive foul down the right field line. Got good wood on that ball, just needs to get it between the white lines.
Sweet Lou, I'm relying on you because I cannot see the baseball right now with the rain on our window.
We need the window washer here at Dyersburg High School to come out.
That's the sun. It's not coming out.
Ground ball to Preston at third base. Over to first, and just gets him a bang-bang play at first base.
No kidding.
TJ needs to put a little more mustard on that. Dawson Yos was hustling down the line.
Yes, he was.
One up, one down here in the bottom of the fifth.
A nice job of hustle there by the catcher, Kyle Wyatt, as well, running down to back up the throw. Love to see that hustle.
Blaine McIntosh, the left-handed batter.
Sweet Lou, did you hear? Is there a time limit at all? We know we ran into those issues last year.
I didn't hear. I don't even know what time we started. To be honest with you, I know things have been kind of moving along here pretty good.
See McIntosh pulling off. That front side is kind of flying open, and that's never good, especially when you're facing a left-handed pitcher.
Eberhardt winds, delivers. There's a bunt attempt. McIntosh now in a hole. No balls and 2 strikes. Starting to get a little bit of moisture in the press box here. There's a ground ball.
This is going to be tough.
Go
Better
hurry.
Hurry. Just got him.
Got him.
Yep, just got him.
Bang, bang play at first base.
Yeah, that's the one where if you're Matthew Copen, you kind of get caught in between. You probably want to do a run through on that play, but he was able to kind of set his feet, corral, and get the throw over just in time to beat McIntosh, who, like I said, can really run, getting down that first baseline pretty quickly.
Here's Heckert, the shortstop, batting right-handed. 2 up, 2 down here for Riley Eberhardt. Here in the bottom of the 5th, Lafayette Jeff leading Sycamore High School. Pitch outside for a ball. Here's Riley's wind up in the pitch. Right down the middle, swung on and missed by Heckert.
Yeah, it's getting really tough for me, man. I can't see anything. Oh no, I'm good because it's cold out there.
And we're getting. You can see the puddles starting to form again here out in front of the dugouts. Just like a real fine mist coming down. There's a called strike. 1 ball, 2 strikes now. 2 outs, bases empty here in the bottom of the 5th inning. Riley Eberhardt trying to get 3 up, 3 down. There's a pitch inside for a ball. Of course, I mentioned the Broncos' schedule next week. We're going to host or go to Logansport, I think, on Monday. Or maybe it's, I don't know, I haven't looked. I know we got Logansport home and home. And then next weekend will be the Joe Heath Classic.
Wow.
Broncos will be taking on Crown Point next Friday night from Loeb Stadium.
So it ramps up
Wind
fast.
up in the pitch. That's high for a ball. And then Saturday we'll be playing 2 games. As we'll take on the Huntington North Vikings and then take on Chesterton. That's the annual Joe Heath Classic, Loeb Stadium. Pitch inside. That's ball 4. Chris Eberhardt may be running out of gas here.
Yeah, this is the first outing of the year, and like I said, we don't know how many pitches he's thrown, but he's had thrown a lot of pitches tonight because even when he's gotten some of his strikeouts, they've been high pitch, a lot of pitches to that hitter.
Kyle Spurlock, right-handed batter. Pretty good lead at first for Heckert. There's a pitch on the outside corner from Eberhardt for a called strike.
I tell you, and like I said, I'm off my game right now because I forgot to bring my pitch counter, sitting right there in my drawer at home and not doing any good there.
Eberhardt has struck out 7 and walked 4. There's a nice curveball on the inside corner for called strike 2.
All right, I would have Kyle Wyatt set up in the middle of that left-handed batter's box and see if we can get a strike called here.
I'm telling you, Spurlock, pretty good sized player. He can hit that ball a long way if he got a hold of it.
Especially with that open. There he is. He's getting out there. Just hit the glove.
Stretching the pitch.
Oh, not
It's
that.
on the inside.
Oh. Catcher set up way outside and you throw a ball that almost hits a right-handed batter. You don't want that lack of execution there. Try it again.
Eberhardt gets his sign. There goes the runner. There's a ground ball to the shortstop. Washington, he's going to go the easy route to first base, and he's out at first. So a nice play by the shortstop ends the inning, and we played 5 complete here from Tennessee with the score Lafayette Jeff Broncos 2 and Sycamore 1. We'll take a short audio break. You're watching Bronco Baseball. Sweet Lou Jeff Luzatter back here at Dyersburg High School, Dyersburg, Tennessee, as Lafayette Jet Broncos opening the 2018 campaign. We're playing Sycamore High School, first of 4 down here, weather permitting. Broncos leading here. We head into the top of the 6th inning. J.J. Ivy still on the mound as he pitches to Cole Bridge, a right fielder.
Who's
Cole 0 for 2.
0 for 2, but I tell you what, his last at-bat was a really good one. Line drive right to the right fielder. The right fielder missed, but if Cole can continue that swing, he's going to be just fine this year.
There's a wind-up and the pitch. That's down low for a ball.
And Kevin Potts, yes, Justin is studying at school right now. And Angelique Johns, yes, I am soft. That's why I'm in the press box. It's too cold out there.
Hey, thanks. Former Bronco fans still listening to us.
Yeah,
really
a lot of people listening. We love it.
Absolutely. There's a swing and a miss, a nice pitch. Inside at the knees, Cole Bridge.
I'll tell you what, man, this modified windup is just freaking me out. It's different.
Again, a pitch on the inside for strike 2. 2 balls, 2 strikes.
I think that wind and rain is getting in Cole's eye there.
There's a wind-up and the 2-2. There's a foul ball, and Cole just kept himself alive.
That's a good job by Cole there, Sweet Lou, because that pitch, if he takes that, it's probably going to be a strike, because that was very similar to this pitch that was just called a strike. So good job of protecting there by Cole. He's on top of the plate. He's going to fight it off. Hopefully he can get something out over the plate and do some damage to it.
Here's the pitch.
Good swing.
Ground or a line drive down the right field line, out of play.
It's good at bat here by Cole Bridge. Nice battle.
And the base is empty here in the top of the 6th inning. Broncos leading 2-1. Here's the pitch. And a fly ball into right center field, pretty well hit. And that's going to be over the right fielder's head. Cole Bridge rounding first, and he's going to hit into second base with a stand-up double here to lead off the 6th inning. And he just went with a pitch there, I think, Chris, just a little bit outside and got good wood on it and got it to right center field.
Folks, I'll tell you what, Cole Bridge has had 2 outstanding at-bats. I mean, again, his last at-bat was a line drive to the right fielder. The right fielder dropped, but that ball was smoked. And this at-bat here, Cole Bridge got 2 strikes, got down the count early, got on top of the plate, fought off a couple pitches, and he just drilled the ball. And he got it in the gap, and the wind is blowing in. I tell you what, if this wind's not blowing in on a different day, that may leave. That ball's hit well.
Riley Eberhardt can help himself here. Takes a pitch outside for a ball.
That is really good to see out of Cole Bridge, because we're going to need that from him this year. Need a whole lot of that.
Ball. No strikes. Pitch up high, ball 2.
All right, so let's see what Riley does this time. We need Riley, again, even though it's a 2-0 count, now you're looking, as a right-handed hitter, you're looking for something on the middle away, on the kind of middle outside part of the plate that you can drive hard in the gap right over the second baseman's head.
Ivy stretches pitches. Pitch in there for a called strike. 2 balls, 1 strike.
And that may have been the pitch right there. So now he's 2-1. He still has a job to do. You know, whatever happens here, if you're Riley Eberhardt, you have to find a way to get this runner to third base.
Ivy gets his sign. Lead by Bridge at second, and there's a fake by Ivy. Back to second base. Broncos leading 2-1. Nobody out here in the top of the 2nd inning. Love to get this run in from second base. Swing and a miss by Eberhardt.
That was a pull swing there. That's what Riley's got. Now you got to really fight. Again, get on top of the plate, push something over the right side of the field, get that run over to third base.
2 balls, 2 strikes, nobody out here in the top 6th inning. Stretch and the pitch. Check swing.
Oh, wow. Oh, wow.
Looks like he held up.
I'm surprised I'm surprised the catcher didn't ask for the umpire to ask the guy on the field. And again, he's in a tough position, but man, I think I would have called that one. I'll tell you what, as a home plate umpire, I think I may have called that a strike.
Well, the count's full now. Here comes a 3-2 pitch, and he fights it off and hits it right back to the screen.
Good swing there by Riley. Still kind of an inside-out swing. Still trying to be productive and get that runner over to third base. Nice job.
So Eberhard again can help himself. A base hit here can get the Broncos a 2-run lead here. We're in the 6th inning. Stretch and the pitch. And throw down to third base as a steal by Bridge is successful, but Riley Eberhard strikes out swinging for the first out here in the 6th.
Nice job by Bridge getting down there. But a nice play by, I think that is Jacob McCoy, if I remember correctly, now playing third base. He makes a nice play because if that ball gets in left field, that's a run.
So Bridge credited with a steal in third base and brings up T.J. Preston now. And his main goal here is to make contact.
That's right, Sweet Lou. Got to pick up a
one
run.
Out. Bridge on at third base. Broncos leading 2-1.
Oh my goodness!
Sweet Lou, Jeff Luxatter back here. So we had some internet problems, but we're back on the air here. I apologize for that. Out of my control. We're back here. We're in the bottom of the 6th inning, and the wheels have fallen off of the wagon here for Jeff. We're in the bottom of the 6th inning. It's 5-3. Jeff's still on top. Riley Eberhard still on the mound. And Noah Jolly, it's a foul ball down the right field line and out of play. And the conditions are getting really, the umpires are trying to get this game in, but
yeah, you're right. Conditions are getting really tough. But kind of go back to Jeff scored a few runs in that last inning. Another really good at bat by Matthew Cope and hit another hard ground ball. Base hits the right side of the field, drove in a couple of runs, and had some other good at bats. But now, like you said, Sweet Lou, in this bottom half of the 6th inning, the wheels have kind of fallen off. We had a questionable hit / error in center field on a tough fly ball to Marquise Munoz, and we had the play that
there's a wild pitch by Eberhard.
Yeah.
And he's having trouble holding on to the baseball, and that slipped right out of his hand.
He had to play Matthew Coben a routine ground ball to Matthew, and he couldn't really grip it. He made a bad throw over the first. A couple runs came in, so it's really tough conditions out there right now. It's cold and wet. I think this Indiana weather followed us here a little bit here.
Catching Noah Jolly's at the batter. There's a called strike 3.
Needed that.
So we've got one out. Number 11 re-entering. Jarrett Edmondson, third baseman. He's 0 for 2. So loosely on at third base with one out. There's a called strike from Riley Eberhard.
Well,
Edmondson, the number 8 batter in the
Sweet Lou, and he may be 0 for 1 because I think didn't Ivy come in and bat this last time? He got the strikeout. So
pitch down low, evens the count 1-1. Well, I was a baseball player, Chris. Mm-hmm. You were a baseball player. Mm-hmm. We drove up here and it was kind of raining, but both teams are playing under the same conditions.
That's right.
So
That's right. Well, this is definitely
they fought with us on offense the last inning, and here we are doing the same thing with them on offense. So
This is one of these days and the conditions right now. You want to be on offense right now. You don't want to be in the field. And once again, we just saw the radar of Dyersburg, Tennessee, and there is nothing on the radar. So I don't know what's going on with the weather service out here, but these people need to figure it out.
Pitch high and away.
I sure hope we don't have a tornado while we're out here, man. If you get the alert 2 days after the tornado, what happens, man? Goodness. Wow.
We got one out here in the bottom of the sixth. Broncos leading by a score of 5-3. Pitch outside for a ball from Eberhardt.
And the Sycamore dugout is pretty animated over there, and I'm not sure if they're really wanting to score runs and win this or they want to go home because this weather conditions are pretty rough.
There's a called strike 2. It's going to even account 2 balls, 2 strikes.
And we don't know, Sweet Lou, if this is the last inning or not.
Well, it seems like to me, the way everybody's acting, it is.
Yeah, I think you may
They
be
can
right.
get this last out. There's ball 4. So there's the tying run
That's
on
right.
at first base. If Sycamore can get him around to tie this game.
Yeah, I'm scared to even ask how many pitches Riley Eberhardt has thrown, man. It's had to have been a lot tonight. He's going to exit the game right now. Coach McTaggart's going to bring in.
Going to bring in another lefty, and number 11.
No, wait there. Actually, going to bring Maggio in. They're sending Caleb Coben out to the left field and bringing Christian Maggio in to try to close out this game.
So, okay. So Maggio's coming in from left field.
Yeah, and looks like Eberhardt's going to go to center field. Marquise Munoz is going to come out of the game. And Cole Bridge is going to stay in right field.
Yeah. Well, who's coming in for Munoz, I wonder?
It's so that would have been Caleb. So Caleb Coben came off the bench and went to left field. Moved Christian
Maggio.
Maggio.
So Copeland's in.
Yeah,
Okay.
Caleb is. And
Yeah.
yeah,
Okay, so we got Maggio coming in to pitch.
correct.
All right, let me see. So we got Maggio coming in to pitch. And we got, who's in left field?
Caleb Coben.
Copeland is in left. Let me get this. Copeland is in left. Okay, Copeland's in left. Okay. And then center field.
Wow, working late. It's 7:53. He's from Seattle, Washington.
Center. Wonder who's in center.
Center field that's Riley Eberhardt. Eberhardt in center field.
Bridge and right.
Yep, Bridge and
okay,
right.
we're all set now.
Yep.
Okay. So we're in the bottom of the sixth. The score is 5-3.
So I think the broadcast may not be working again. I think that's what I'm receiving in text. Actually, my wife texted me about 8 minutes ago and said it's not working.
Well, I got it back going again, so she might have her
Since
check
then?
that. Yeah, since then I've got it going again. So you might check and see if she's got it. Have her refresh her browser. So Loosely's on at third base. Edmondson's on at first base. The tying run. We're in the bottom of the sixth inning. 5-3. Jeff's still on top.
You're good, sweet. Yep, she said it's back up now.
And we apologize, but the internet problem is out of my control here.
Yeah, Julie, Sweet Lou said you need to refresh your browser. All right, so figure it out, hon. You just got me in trouble, Sweet Lou. Man, I
don't know where that could happen in these conditions, but you know the old thing, what the doctor ordered, we could sure lose a double play right here.
6-4-3 double play, 4-6-3. I don't care, but I'm telling you,
Let's see if it can happen.
All I know is I'm glad I'm inside in this press box. I'm telling you that.
Well, you can see on the trying to keep the camera clean, but it's here we go with Dawson Yos. He's 0 for 2. There's a called strike from Christian, and that's a good sign
from
the young man.
Oh, that's a conditions call right there, man. That ball's not a strike.
Runners on the corner. Now they got Miami picked off at second. And we got a steal of home. And we got a double steal. And it's now 5-4.
Get 5-4 game with a runner on now. The tying run on second base. What they did was they had first and third situation, and the runner at first base broke. And Christian just, younger player just stepped off and threw it right away to first base. And Nick Collier, or I'm not sure who that is, at first couldn't handle the throw. Oh.
Throw down to third.
That's a very aggressive base run. That's good base run.
It's probably a wild pitch going to be called in the dirt from Kristen. And the tying run is now at third base. So we're 5-4, 1 ball and 1 strike.
Looks like Coach McTaggart called red, and I think the guys were coming in, but it's kind of looks
the
like
number 9 batter in the batting order. There's a nice curveball from Maggio. And it's 1-2 with 1 out. Runner on third. The number 9 batter in the batting order.
I don't know about you, but I smell something that smells like barbecue, and it smells good.
It sure does.
I thought it was you, man. I was getting closer to you. It's smelling on you. Man, that smells good.
There's a chopper.
That's trouble. That's trouble.
Going to go to first base, and he is out, and the runner at third stays.
Unbelievable.
Holy cow. Edmondson.
That is really, really, really bad base running right there.
So a nice play by Maggio for the second out.
Great play by Maggio.
I don't know what happened there, but
that almost could have functioned as like a safety squeeze. The hitter hit a very slow ground ball to the first, I guess in between the first base and the pitcher. Maggio fielded it, but the runner on third did not advance.
Yeah.
Didn't score. And now you have 2 outs back to the top of the order with Mr. McIntosh up.
Yeah, Blaine McIntosh, center fielder. There's a ground ball to the second baseman. Copeland bobbles, goes to first, and it gets by, and the game is tied. So Copeland with an error at second base and ball low. And
you know what, Sweet Lou? That is probably an E4, but I tell you, that throw should have been caught because it wasn't. I mean, it's low, but Collier's got to get down there and catch it.
Well, you tell me what you think here. You think that was a...
you have to... It's got to be an E4, I guess. But, man, I tell you, you want your first baseman to help you out on that one. Ooh.
Yeah, this game is now tied 5-5. 2 outs. McIntosh on at second base, the go-ahead run.
So did you give it an E4, Sweetly? That's always decided? Okay. Yeah, it's just a tough play. I mean, that's probably the one, too, where you're Caleb. You want to drop down and throw that from the side. And you have a little better angle. That's a tough play.
Tyler Heckert up to bat. Shortstop.
Oh,
now
you
got him picked
throw
off.
It, Christian.
They're in a rundown between.
Oh, my goodness. He's safe.
He got him. He's out at second base. McIntosh gets picked off. So Maggio picks off the runner.
Game's over. I saw a coach just shake hands, so it is over. Can end in a tie.
And looks like they're going to call this game.
Wait a second. Wait.
Well,
coaches were shaking hands, and now.
They got the lead. They tied it up.
Yeah. Look, the umpire's taking the ball. Oh, no, they're going to play this. Well, we still have a little bit of confusion. Coaches are talking to the umpires, and I saw the first base coach and Coach McTaggart and Coach Igo shake hands. They were walking, ready to shake hands and be finished, but
well,
you gotta have the
we
Sycamore
are
team
tied
is on the
5-5 here as we head to the 7th inning.
Well, it looks like they're going to play this.
Well, I'd say at least. Well, again, I apologize for the internet problems, but we're back on the air, and while we're away, the wheels fell off the wagon for Lafayette and Jeff. We were in control, but the conditions deteriorated quickly, and so did the Broncos, both offensively and defensively.
I think that's one of the situations. You see Coach McTaggart is kind of upset because I think he knows that if you hold them, if they don't tie this game up, they would have called this game after that inning. But because we couldn't settle things down there defensively, they're going to keep playing. They're going to play one more inning. And for Lafayette,
it's still misting here.
It is.
Still misting here in Dyersburg, Tennessee. We appreciate them letting us have a spot up here in the press box where we're nice and
yes, sir.
Nice and dry.
Because if not, Sweet Lou, I would have left you alone, buddy. I would have been in the car watching this one.
J.J. Ivey still on the mound.
Well, Sweet Lou, this is going to be a situation here where Caleb Copen, a young freshman, is going to lead off the top of the 7th here, and we need him to find a way to get his speed on the base paths.
Well, here we go. It's Caleb
Copen,
the left fielder, batting left-handed, to face Ivy, the left-handed pitcher. That ball is hit to the left fielder, and he's got it for the out.
He catch
nice
it?
play by Biggs. That ball was headed away from the left fielder toward the left field line, but he caught up with it, made the play. 1 up, 1 down here in the top of the 7th.
Hard to see from my angle here, but sounded good off the bat by Caleb Copen, and looks like he ran it down. Left fielder. Back to the top of the order now for Kalani Washington.
Kalani Washington, the shortstop, and they're getting some dry baseballs out there for the pitchers.
Man, this is one of these days if you're hosting this tournament, you go through a lot of baseballs.
There's a foul ball right back to us. Well, Jeff has 3 hits in this game. We go along with their 5 runs. One ball, 1 strike. And Sycamore only has 2 hits. There's a called strike through the heart of the plate. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Base is empty. 5-5, Jeff and Sycamore all knotted up here at Dyersburg High School in Tennessee. Wind up and the pitch. That's outside.
Need Kalani to find his way on base. Need speed on the bases.
Wind up in the pitch. There's a pop-up, and that's off to the right now to play. Here's the pitch to Washington. That's a ground ball up the middle. Going to be a tough play for the second baseman.
No way you can throw it. That's a base hit.
And that's going to be a base hit. So 1 out base hit by Kalani Washington from Jeff. Gets to go ahead run at first base. There's 1 out. number 36 for Jeff.
Christian Maggio.
Maggio can help himself. He's now pitching. Kristen, the voice of the Broncos in football and basketball.
Oh, that's right. Yes, sir.
On Jeff 92 WJEF.
Kalani's got to be careful there. He got caught kind of in no man's land out there. Thank goodness the catcher didn't snap throw back behind him.
Steal, the ball goes into left field. And here comes Washington. And he is there at third base, but he may have hurt himself.
Wow.
I think he's okay. So Washington gets credit with a stolen base. And then he goes to third base on the air by the catcher.
Now Christian has runner on third base with one out. As a hitter, this is a situation you love to be in.
2 balls, no strikes on Christian Maggio, the pitcher. He can help himself here if he can just make contact. 1 out, 1 ball, no strikes. Washington on at third with a go-ahead run. There's a pitch outside for a ball.
Now you got the 2-0 count on him. Or is it 3-0? 3-0.
3-0. I beg your pardon. 3-0 count.
I'd say Christian's too young to try to get the 3-0 green light here, but man, with the infield in, you like to see him swing that bat.
Whoop. And
we'll
that
take
gets
that.
fine. A wild pitch, and in to score comes Washington. And Maggio takes a big turn down at first base, but Maggio walks, and Washington comes in with a go-ahead run on the wild pitch by Ivy, and the Broncos lead 6-5 here in the 7th inning. Cole Bridge, a right fielder now up to bat. 1 for 3 on the day. And we're getting Maggio to get a jacket down at first base.
First baseman is trying to help put it on, but
well, he was trying to get one on and couldn't get it to fit, so he's getting another one now.
Oh, he's putting on a sweatshirt now.
Yeah.
Coach McTaggart trying to speed the game up here. Cole Bridge, his last 2 at-bats have been really good here. Let's see what Cole can do.
Pitch outside for a ball. So the Broncos get a run here in the top of the 7th and regain the lead by a score of 6-5. Ivy stretches, pitches. Pitches inside for a ball. 2 balls, no strikes, and Cole almost got hit with a pitch.
Oh, it's funny because the way he moved his legs, it ended up going in between his legs, and the ball did. So, yeah, Cole he's learned, though, from that first at bat. He's kind of gotten up on top of the plate, and he's daring the pitcher, Ivy, to come inside to him.
Good lead at first base. Pitch down low for a ball. Excuse me.
Now, here's a guy
3-0 now.
I would give the 3-0 green light to Cole Bridge here. I definitely would.
Stretching the pitch, and that's ball 4. Puts runners at first and second with 1 out. Maggio now on at second base. Bridge now on at first base. Who we got batting here?
Riley Eberhardt.
Eberhardt, okay. Eberhardt, starting pitcher, now playing center field. Right-handed batter, stretching the pitch, and there's a called strike.
I think we're gonna have to purchase some long sleeves for Riley Eberhardt, man. Tell you, can't have your number 1 pitcher out there with no sleeves on a night like this.
Runners take their leads at first and second. Pitch just inside. count 1 ball, 1 strike.
You all right over there, Sweet
Oh,
Lou?
yeah, I'll be all right.
You gotta
Runners
get you
take
some
their
water,
leads.
man. Where's your? Don't you normally have like a Mountain Dew or something?
There's a pop-up in the infield. Infield fly
Yes,
is
it is,
being
Sweet
called
Lou.
as the second baseman, Yos, makes the catch for the second out. Runners hold at first and second.
And we know that infield fly rule is what? First, second, and third with less than 2 outs. And that was the situation. And so you get the fly ball there. Even if you don't catch it, it's an out, and the runners can advance at their own risk. But I would advise you to stay put.
Well, here's T.J. Preston. He takes a ball high and away.
It looks like TJ is 0 for 2 with an HBP on the day. Let's see TJ driving a run here. Get himself his first knock of the year.
Stretching the pitch. That pitch is outside for a ball. There's a
Jam sandwich
jam
again. That's going to be a big
city
hit,
right
though.
to the second baseman.
Oh, nice
goes to
play by the
first
second baseman.
for the out, and that's going to end the inning.
It's a nice play.
Preston grounds out to the second baseman to end the inning. But the Broncos do come up with a run as we head to the bottom of the 7th inning with the score, Lafayette Jeff 6 and Sycamore 5. We'll take a short audio break. We'll be back. You're listening to Bronco Baseball here on the web. Sweet Lou, Jeff Luzander back here at Dyersburg High School in Tennessee as we head in the bottom of the 7th inning. Sycamore's last chance. Their Broncos leading 6-5. Kristen Maggio trying to get the victory here in relief of Roddy Eberhard, who went to first 5.5. Don't know the exact pitching total, but he did go at least 5. Maggio came in the last inning in the 6th.
Oh, my goodness. That
Ground ball to the second baseman.
He can't get it out of his glove. That's a good call. That's the right call.
Yep. That ball was hit right back to Maggio. And then it went over to second baseman Copeland.
That ball took one hop and hit off Maggio's like shin or knee, man.
So that's going to be an infield single.
Yeah, I'm surprised he didn't
for
go
Heckert,
down.
and the tying run is on base.
Oh my goodness, it is chilly.
And that brings up Kyle Spurlock. Again, what the doctor ordered, Chris, a double play here would be in order if the Broncos can do it. But
I would agree, Sweet Lou. I'd say get a ground ball right to, let's go 4-6-3 variety here. Ground ball to Copen, he goes to Kalani, and Kalani over to Collier. Get out of this thing.
Kristen, foul ball.
That was a pitch to
at
do
the
it.
Plate. Well, just first time I've seen Maggio pitch, he doesn't look like a sophomore.
No, he's a big, strong kid.
He's got all the tools out there. He looks like a pitcher.
Nothing like getting thrown into the fire your first varsity game either.
Yeah.
Oh, good
There's
swing.
a line drive right to the left fielder, Copeland, and he makes the catch.
Nice job.
So a nice play out there by Copeland. And there's one out with a runner still on at first base for
Caleb Coben gets his
Sycamore.
first action. Line drive hit right at him in a big situation. He stays on it, makes a play for the first out of the top or bottom of the 7th, I should say.
So hopefully that's a big out here as we got.
So that is, here's the interesting thing. Here's a question for you, Sweet Lou. In these wet conditions out, you have your Tyler Heckert at first base. He's got to have pretty good speed. Wouldn't you try to steal him, try to get him in scoring position? Now you have an 0-2 count. I wouldn't do it on this pitch here, but this is a good pitch to pitch out on.
McCoy now batting.
He's going.
Outside, throw down to second
that's why
base,
you
and then
run.
goes into
Going
left field.
outfield.
And Heckert
He stays at second.
steals second and almost went to third. But
That's why you steal in these conditions. It's just too hard. You're asking a lot for the catcher to be able to catch it clean and make a good, clean throw on the money. Now a base hit can tie this game. Still only one out.
Yeah, 1 out, 1 ball, and 2 strikes. See if Christian can get a big strikeout here.
Good pitch.
Foul ball right back to the screen.
That's a great pitch. Great location there by Christian Maggio. Good fight there by McCoy as well.
It looks like he was sort of reaching for that.
Sure
if he'd
was.
even got it in between the white lines, it wouldn't have went very far.
That's right. It's just a great pitch.
Still 1 and 2. Runner on second base.
Struck
And
him
a
out.
swing and a miss. And there's a big strikeout
Huge
for Christian
strikeout.
Maggio. 2 outs now. Heckert's still on at second base, a tying run, but
That is a huge strikeout.
brings up the left fielder, Peyton Biggs. And a foul ball as the first pitch swinging. No balls, 1 strike, 2 outs. Tying run on the second.
Another good pitch by Christian Maggio.
Maggio now ahead 0-2.
He is really painting that outside corner to right-handed hitters. And tell you what, if he can make another pitch, I would try to go just a little bit further out this time and see if I can get that hitter to chase.
Either that or go up with a high hard
That's
one
good,
up high,
good
right
idea
up
as
in the
well.
eyes.
But they're going to try to go
0-2 pitch,
outside.
here it is. And that's on
Great.
the outside corner.
Well, the umpire thought about it. He took a step back. It is the right call because it's just off the plate, but
Yeah.
he has called that tonight, though.
1 ball, 2 strikes. Christian Maggio stretches, pitches, and that's a wild one. And
Uh-oh.
over to third base goes Heckert.
Well, we have a situation here. We have a runner on third, tying run on third, 2-2 count, 2 outs. Bottom of the 7th, Lafayette Jeff up by 1. So let's see how this thing shakes out.
Well, I don't think Maggio wants to go 3-2, so hopefully he goes after him right here. Stretch and the pitch.
Good pitch.
Line drive.
Oh,
in
you
there.
gotta go get that.
And the game is tied. The
Oh.
ball gets by the first baseman, but not far enough. So
That's just
Biggs gets a base hit into right field, ties the game up 6-6 as Heckert scores from third.
You know what? I'll be honest. That's a really good pitch by Maggio, and it's just even better hitting by the hitter there. I mean, that's good baseball all around.
Yeah, absolutely.
You know, you kind of stick your bat out there, you're protecting the plate, get a line drive base hit to right field, you're driving a tying run, and I think what will happen here, if Lafayette Jeff can get out of this, I think they'll just call the game. It'll be tied
I think
here.
so.
Because you got another team, a couple other teams getting ready to play, and
Michael
more power to them.
Lucy, right fielder up to bat. There's ball 1. Biggs on it first. He got the base hit to knock in or to get the tying run in. We're knotted up 6-6 here in the bottom of the 7th inning. There's a chopper right at the plate, foul ball. That'll leave the count 1-1 with 2 outs. Now Christian wants to get a dry baseball here.
See, I tell you, hadn't been the most clean game played. There's been a lot of action, you know,
Yeah.
especially in the latter innings.
Maggio stretches, pitches. That's in the dirt. Runner headed down to second
good
base.
throw.
Throw down. He's safe.
That's all Kyle can do right there. It's a good job by Wyatt. He blocked the ball. The runner, that's good base running. He saw down angle. He read it, and he took off. And Kyle Wyatt blocked it, made it strong throw to second base. The runner's just there in time. So now base hit may win the game for the Sycamore.
Yeah, bottom of the 7th inning. Biggs in scoring position at second base. Swing and a miss, and we're going 2-2 here now.
Man, that is a huge leadoff. I mean, the runner at second base was halfway to third base.
6-6, bottom of the 7th, a winning run at second base for Sycamore. Broncos trying to hang on. Here's the pitch, and that's wild one down to
Don't
third
throw that.
goes Biggs, and he's down at third base now. We're going to go to a full count.
So you got a full count, a runner on third. Oh, my goodness. Now the winning run is on third base with a full count in the bottom of the 7th.
Yep. The winning run on at third base. Let's see what happens. The score is tied. 6-6, bottom of the 7th.
This puts a lot of pressure on the young freshman. The sophomore, Christian Maggio, on the mound here. A lot of pressure on the catcher
Stretch
as well.
on the stretch. Here's the pitch, and that's ball 4.
So now if you're Lafayette Jeff, you have to be aware. And Coach McTaggart's going to call timeout. He's going to go out and talk to him. You have to be aware they're going to do something here where the runner on first is going to try to get off, get in the pickle. Just let him have second. He can have second all day. You don't worry about him. You have to focus on the batter right now. Or you can do that and you can intentionally walk. But I forget, in high school, do you have to throw the pitches? So you just put up the four fingers and put them on. He's going to choose not to do that, looks like.
Runners on the corner. Biggs on at third. Loosely on at first. Scores tied 6-6. There's 2 out. We're in the bottom of the 7th inning. Brings up Noah Jolly. Winning run on at third base here for Sycamore.
So first and third here.
Great experience here from Maggio.
Yes, it is.
It's a by runner going from first to second, no throw. Runner at second means nothing.
That is true.
There's a ground ball, and that's to the shortstop. Booted, and the game is over. And Sycamore wins the game by a score of 7-6. As Washington got a nice hop, but
it's gonna be a tough play anyway. But how do you rule on that, Sweet Lou?
What do you think?
I don't know, man. You got that long hop there. I don't know.
Well, the final score: Sycamore 7 and Lafayette Jeff Broncos 6. As the Broncos go down in their first win, or their first loss in their first game of the season. So quite a ball game here, not a dull moment. Final thoughts here, Chris.
Yeah, well, it's the first game of the year. It's a little sloppy at the end there, but you'll learn from it. They'll learn from it. A lot of young guys, first time out here playing varsity action, so we'll see how they grow from this.
Well, again, the final score, Lafayette Jeff goes down to their first loss. Winning pitcher, it's Ivy. The loser goes to Christian Maggio. You'll just have to watch the website to find out when our next broadcast. I've got it scheduled for tomorrow at 2 o'clock our time. I'm not sure we're going to be playing because they've moved some games around, so you'll just have to watch the website. I apologize for the internet problems. Not our fault, nothing we can do, but get back on. So again, the final score, Sycamore 7, Lafayette Jeff 6. For Chris Walker, I'm Sweet Lou, Jeff Luzader saying so long, everyone. Thanks for watching, and don't forget the archives.